Dear guests, please proceed to Hall G for the closing ceremony. Dear guests, please proceed to Hall G for the closing ceremony.
Your Excellencies, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm Rebecca McLaughlin-Eastham, and a very big thank you to all of you for joining us as we wrap up GCF 2025.
I think the time went too fast, right?
We're
talking about going from 2 days to 3 days. I'm John Defterius. It's been an incredible 2 days. clearly packed with insights and observations, with expert speakers and contributions from you all. Before we go any further, Rebecca and I thought it would be a good idea to say thank you to the leadership, thank you to the program team, thanks for all the engagement from the speakers and all the preparations. Give them a nice round of applause for all the efforts that's been put forward.
A stunning edition of GCF, I'm sure we'll all agree. John, what stood out for you?
Well, that's a fairly difficult challenge, right? Because that was across 4 sessions. We had excellent meetings behind the scenes, but there were so many discussions. But one point, I think, from the session I moderated this morning really did resonate for me, and that was with His Excellency Jose Manuel Barroso. He said that governments today protect their own cyber systems not only against cybercrime, and that this is really very, very true, but against one another. And this competition between states makes sincere collaboration in cyberspace so much tougher. But he also emphasized, as he always does every year, something very profound. It's that very competition that makes it even more vital to pursue cooperation at the global level. And I would even add what came out of the conversations at the regional level. Yeah. I'm thinking of ASEAN, the GCC, the European Union. Cooperation at the national level, the United States is already there. In Latin America, it's vital. Within the African Union as well.
Yeah, so important. I had many standout sessions myself, and in particular one that I hosted yesterday on the social and economic case for truly investing in women in cybersecurity, with, of course, a very strong focus on international collaboration to dismantle the barriers preventing more women entering the industry. And in that session, it has to be said that Sarah Hendricks from the UN Women reminded us that it is imperative that cybersecurity must be as safe as it is inclusive, and that female representation in the field is what inspires more to enter. If you can see it, John, you can be it.
Yeah, and we had a very excellent private session on women empowerment. Sarah, and we also had the Secretary General of the ITU. It was very, very solid. We began the annual meeting with a thought-provoking exchange on the possibility of achieving consensus to safeguard shared opportunities. If you were here for the plenary session yesterday, you know what I'm talking about. Her Excellency Kolinda Grabar-Kitarovic and His Excellency Macky Sall, Chris Inglis, who was the first U.S. National Cyber Director. And again, Chris had his own standout point that reflects this year's theme, that true cohesion is not about aligning disparate interests, but about mobilizing collaboration by focusing on the needs of citizens. So I'd say the one thing we did learn out of the GCF 2025 is that it should be citizen-centric, right? With security right behind them so they have trust.
100%. That's why gatherings like this are so very important. They get policymakers, experts, and industry decision makers from right around the world in this one room to truly collaborate on solutions that ultimately serve those citizens everywhere.
And what makes GCF different, I think, is how their conversations cut across geographies and sectors and truly become a catalyst for action that transcends borders. I think it's evident here, even at the closing ceremony, it's standing room only, but the community is so solid and it's so global today.
Something we're very proud of. Indeed, His Excellency Majid Al-Maziyed, the governor of the Saudi National Cybersecurity Authority, said right at the start that GCF is entering a new phase of deepened collaboration, where global stakeholders work together to expand the reach and results of our shared efforts. And indeed, over the past 2 days, this was truly evident in the productive engagement that we've seen between representatives from government, international organizations, NGOs, and the all-important private sector, John.
And the annual meeting itself continues to expand, as you can see, with this edition featuring more sessions than ever, particularly on the participatory track, and the EU-GCC dialogue on the sidelines of the event. And Rebecca, I know you've been hosting sessions in the podcast studio. I did a promo for our upcoming session, but you were really chock-a-block in that studio, which was really interesting. We also had the GCF Live studio for the 3rd year running, and we had very inspiring interviews, I should say, here with our speakers and the other participants. And we broadcasted to media platforms around the world, television channels, digital channels, and also newspapers. And we actually set a record in the last 2 days. We don't have a final count, but it's well over 100 interviews. So I wanted to thank personally the people attending to block out that time, not because we want to have the media coverage, but it's the sense of urgency to take action, and deeper collaboration, I think, is the best way to say it.
Absolutely.
So before we go any further, we wanted to give you a snapshot of what the last 2 days looked like, right? We have a short video capturing day 1 and day 2, a little bit of that track of the private meetings taking place. You had a ministerial the day before. Let's take a look.
Let's take a look.
يسرني أن أعلن انطلاق أعمال النسخة الخامسة من المنتدى الدولي للأمن السيبراني في مدينة الرياض.
The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has always been a force for good. I am pleased to announce that the Kingdom is launching a global initiative for capacity building in cyberspace in partnership with the United Nations.
We must act together to ensure cyberspace serves the common good by investing in people, building skills, and fostering improvement.
Very nice, very nice. Rebecca always wants me to walk in front of her. I said, chivalry is not dead yet. We have to have the male role here on the stage.
It's a wonderful catwalk for you, John.
And we even had matching little features here today with the...
coordinated on stage. That's what I like to see. True collaboration, ladies and gentlemen. What a fantastic sizzle reel, as we call it in the trade. And you can see that we have really had some incredible momentum, scaling cohesive advancement, as of course the theme suggests this year, right across geopolitical, socioeconomic, technical, and human dimensions of cyberspace, John.
This is a difficult challenge for Rebecca and me, and that's trying to summarize what happened over the last 2 days, because it was such a busy agenda. We started strong at the opening ceremony, when the UN Secretary General addressed our audience, marking the new partnership with Saudi Arabia to accelerate global capacity building efforts. The initiative is led by the NCA, CITE, and the GCF in collaboration with several UN agencies and Interpol. What a coalition, if you will.
Absolutely. We also saw real progress on the 2 global initiatives instated by His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Under the Child Protection in Cyberspace Initiative, GCF and DQI launched the CPC Index with a strong call to stakeholders to unite and track progress on reducing child cyber risks by some 15%, John, in the next 5 years.
And building on that, GCF published a report with We Protect on the risks facing children in online gaming, an important step for this ongoing partnership towards a safer online environment for children. This was driven home in a very profound way in 2025.
Absolutely, it's imperative. It's a critical issue in cyberspace and one that was very powerfully addressed by leaders in the gaming industry. And we saw other stakeholders in our roundtable discussions hosted by UNICEF called Gaming for Safety, Protecting Children from Cyber Risks.
And for the second global initiative, Women Empowerment in Cybersecurity, the new research report with Duke University gave us fresh insights into the barriers to women entering and building careers in the sector, counting on data from Latin America for the first time as well.
Yes, and the findings were quite eye-opening, with 64% of respondents working in the industry believing that women are still vastly underrepresented in their nation's cybersecurity workforces.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about that? In the opening session, President Kalinda said, I'm using her first name there, but she said you can't have a whole economy with using half of your brain, right? We have the other half of the workforce. There's been progress,
yes,
but we could do much more as well. So, well, the findings will help decision makers take action to increase women's participation, whether through more visible role models, training, or other strategies. We've often talked about setting concrete targets country by country as well.
We also heard from Jim O'Connor, the chairman and CEO of USTTI, who emphasized the importance of amplifying women's voices in cybersecurity to help identify vulnerabilities and, of course, build resilience. That is why USTTI's Global Leadership Training Program with GCF is so very important. Now in its third successful session, having trained women of 38 nationalities, ladies and gentlemen, in modules from the United States to, of course, here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
And alongside that, UN Women signed an MOU with the GCF to advance knowledge exchange and global collaboration, yet another step forward towards strengthening women's role in cybersecurity worldwide.
Pretty exciting news, if you think about it, because the kind of partnership really reflects what Her Excellency Dr. Hala Al-Tuwajiri, the President of the Saudi Human Rights Commission, was highlighting in a panel discussion where she pointed to women empowerment being a borderless issue and said that it's vital to build strong pipelines of career opportunities for women right throughout the world and through international collaboration.
And we already know the shortage of the workforce, right? We've talked about it, 2.8 to 3 million people.
1 in 4, absolutely.
Indeed, building human capacity is key of what we're going to meet the challenges of a fast-changing cyberspace and to seize the opportunities it offers for economies and societies. A secure system means solid growth, basically.
Solid growth. And these economic opportunities were front and center with several sessions held by the new CCE, that's the Center for Cyber Economics, which addressed the really big issues at the intersection of economics and cybersecurity, from cyber workforce development to cybersecurity's macroeconomic impact.
The CCE's Executive Committee held its first in-person meeting at this year's event, establishing the priorities that will guide the center as it addresses the growing need to understand and quantify cybersecurity's global economic impact. There's another excellent private session to do the road mapping. As Akshay Joshi, head of the World Economic Forum's Center for Cybersecurity, highlighted, given today's strained economic systems, taking an economic-based approach to cybersecurity is no longer an option, it is an imperative.
It is. We've also seen new areas of collaboration showing where GCF's global efforts are heading to meet challenges and risks on the horizon, which impact our infrastructure, our systems, our supply chains, indeed, the very engines of our economy, John.
And in a time of conflict, the launch of the new GCF Impact Network on the protection of critical infrastructure, which will implement a new digital emblem project with the ICRC. It's particularly important for that data and tracking.
Absolutely. GCF's knowledge communities have also convened over the past 2 days, and this year we heard about a new one with the Knowledge Community on Aviation led by Riyadh Air, which is all about knowledge sharing and collaboration on securing global aviation. Now,
this is just a glimpse of what has been achieved. GCF's work continues year-round, and they set the task of scaling these efforts and elevating the real-world impact for global communities. I can see by the core staff of the GCF, they may need some backup here because of the amount of communities and projects that are ahead for 2026.
Very important, exactly, productive community. And the community is already making a real-world difference. And the 12 months ahead are interesting ones. I think we'll be able to reflect and look back with even greater and deeper progress having been made on where GCF has really made more inroads as they continue to unite the global cyber community across their initiatives, their centers, knowledge platforms, networks, and many other activities.
Of course, this would not be possible without the support of GCF's founding partners, NCA and SITE, and strategic partners Aramco and STC, and the annual meeting partners Cisco, Cyberani, Fortinet, Google, Cloud Security, IBM, Palo Alto Networks, Surar by STC, and Trellix. Their combined support has been instrumental in advancing the community's work. Let's join them and get a nice applause for all the support in this journey over the last 4 years at GCF.
We wholeheartedly thank you for your participation and truly encourage you to continue your engagement with GCF beyond this annual meeting. The journey continues, and much more lies ahead in the weeks, months, and indeed year. We would like to collaborate to continue the discussions and always be stronger together as we shape the future of cybersecurity.
And shall we say, on behalf of Rebecca and myself, we want to say congratulations to the leadership. Governor, Deputy Governor, thanks again for having us. But look around, this is day 2, the room is full. The community was buzzing in the public and the private sessions. So can we give a nice round of applause to the GCF leadership? And thank you again for all your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you.